One of the great benefits of the cross-cut mode is the ability to cut a number of pieces simultaneously. Legs of a table, for instance. What I'd do is I'd cut my 4 pieces a little bit oversize, measure and mark 1 piece only, put that in roughly in relation to my notch in the MDF fences, and then line the other pieces up very carefully so that they're dead in line, the dressed ends dead in line with each other, so that you can run your finger along and not feel any step. Then you can hold the 4 together as a sort of pack and adjust them in relation to the notch in the MDF sub-fences. And because I can't quite span that distance with my hand, I can't effectively hold these 2 down, I'm just going to be safe and put this scrap block on there so that I can both press the wood against the MDF and hold it down. And I'm ready to go to cut 4 pieces at once. And those pieces must be exactly the same length if they're not sitting down on some sawdust, because I cut simultaneously. And you've quartered the chances of error in measuring and marking and cutting. Now, this cut illustrates very well what I was saying earlier about not pulling the saw back on an offcut. One of these offcuts could have very easily vibrated in behind the saw blade. So you notice as I finished the cut, I parked the saw there, pulled the 4 pieces out sideways so I didn't get any recut damage, and now with the blade stopped spinning, I can safely remove my offcuts without them being recut. This is a very useful jig for multiple cutting and for cutting to a predetermined distance. It's just a piece of MDF about 50 millimeters high and about 2 meters wide. And I screwed this to both of my MDF sub-fences before making a cut through there. I've glued this polyester and fiberglass tailor's measure, which you can get from most haberdashery stores, to the right-hand part of my extended cross-cut fence, and I've got the 0 of the measure exactly flush with the right-hand side of my cutting notch. The tailor's measure happens to be 1.5 meters long, and that's how long I've made my cross-cut fence extender. As you can see, it's supported on a multi-stand, which would also support any long length of timber that I'm cutting. And the last thing I need is this little stop block. There's my stop block. This is just a guidance system I've made up to keep it nice and square to my cross-cut fence extension. And then because I've got this face and this face dead in line, I can put this on, look straight down from above, dial up the dimension I want, and then G-clamp it in position like so. And then every piece that I butt up against that stop and cut will be exactly the same length, the length